the same zone, and it provided some resistance in the same area. But you can notice that the market was supported by the average, and the support zone is 5160. So you can notice that the market took some support around 5160 and it tries to give some bounce back, and it was quite successful in clearing this area. You can notice that it was quite successful in clearing this 5190, which acted as like an intermediate resistance on the previous day. But it tested this 5120. The market tried to test this 5220, but since it is a major resistance zone, it had some resistance here, and you can very well notice that the market came down. But again it went back and tried to test the zone, but it was not successful, and there was also again a selling. But you can notice that this was the support zone which was formed during the earlier trading session. Now this 5160 is now acting as a support, and even it couldn't sustain going higher, but again there was a drop, and the market clearly came down and tested this 5160. As we mentioned yesterday we had a crude oil inventory report. So this is the time where we got the inventory report. It just favored some buying. So again the price direction, it went up and it tested this 5220, and again it provided some resistance. So you can notice that though the price is trading within a band of 5160 and 5220, but still the price is struggling to break this 5220. You can see it's just because it is a major resistance. So the yesterday's market, completely the yesterday market, if you see that the market tried to stay above 5160, at the same time this 5220 provided a resistance. That is the reason we always after some very big drop or after a very good gain, so after the market losing all its momentum, it is always we need to wait for some opportunity to grab that opportunity. So if you're that is the reason why we always explain book your profit at regular time intervals. So let us see what happened after that. So after the price testing this 5220, it was quite successful in breaking this 5220, but again it is a failure. So you can notice that how many times the market is hitting 5220. Now it is trying to break this 5220 so that it can provide some platform for some pullback. And our market at the last, the market was successful in making a closing near 5220. So on seeing the complete price action, you can very well notice that this 5220 is quite important in maintaining a resistance, and this 5160 is quite successful. This type of consolidation with the trend can happen whenever the price has dropped a lot. So we cannot expect every day the market will be dropping. Whenever the market has dropped to a greater extent, it is our responsibility to protect our profit which we have gained earlier. So today we are expecting crude to open more or less near the same zone. This 5220 plus or minus 10 points, it can open near the same zone. So what we suggest is that since the price, you can see on the previous day the closing is bit, you can see, or this is a previous day. So the opening and closing, you can see the opening and closing are neutral. On the next day also, since the opening and we had some closing above that, and the price took the support 5160 on the previous day, which was formed as a support. So this is an indication that the price can go higher, but it is quite normal, because after dropping 500 points, it is quite natural the market should give a bounce back. If the market is continuously dropping, then there is no purpose in having support and resistance and having a retracement, measuring retracement levels. So we can expect some bounce back. This indicates that there is some buying happening around that can provide us a buyback. But is there a confirmation? If you ask me, if there a confirmation that the market we can go for a buy, still the market has not provided any confirmation. So what we did for this week is that we have made some sufficient profit for this week by going with the trend, how the trend followed, because last week was a huge drop, and this week we made some profit with the consolidating market. Now it is time for us to prepare well for the next week, because we need to form a platform for the next week. So what we can do is that we should wait for opportunities so that we can gain some, because since it is not a confirmation for buying, we cannot straight away go for a buying and we cannot test the market. If there is any clients, if you want to test the market, there is some platform around 5160, you can have this, but we strongly don't advise betting against the trend in any market. So what we can do is that we can patiently wait for some certain levels and we can test the market selling trend completely. And clients who are having a very minimum fund, you can stay away from crude oil and you can watch until we get a proper direction. You can watch because there is a sufficient amount of pullback. You can expect a sufficient amount of pullback in crude market, but it doesn't indicate that the price has reversed its trend. So we wait for the beautiful opportunities. We have mentioned the resistance line, so wait for the zone and take a call for go for a selling, and you can expect, you can go for a selling till again we are saying this 5320, and you can maintain 5330 as your stop loss. If the price is crossing all this limit, then we can, because in a straight day we don't know, because out of 10 1 or 2 days the market will show this type of drastic price movement and break all the resistance zone and close higher, but still it can be in trend. So since we expect to stay with the trend, what you can do is that you can go ahead and test the market with a continuously with the selling trend, but only taking on major resistance zone. How to calculate the major resistance zone, we have explained it earlier. So whatever the market, whatever the price action the market has traced, when the price drops from let us see how the price dropped from the big what we had a big drop on this day. Let us come to that point. So from 5520, you can see the market drop wherever the market has paused. You can very well notice that this is the zone where you can see this 5320, there is a pass, and the 5260. If you can watch on our Monday presentation, we would have explained you clearly about the importance of 5260 and 5320 and 5360. Why these zones are very important? Because these zones acted as a major support for crude oil and pushed the market to 5520 and 5620. So from this zone the market moved to that price range. So these are the important zones. Only if we get a clearance above the zone, we can go for buying. So since the market has paused, so these are the major resistance zones. So what you can do is that you can test all the resistance zone till 5320, and let us watch the market how the price is reacting. If you want, if you don't have sufficient funds in your trading account, please stay away from the crude oil market and just wait for some beautiful opportunities where the market will come to a certain price point to show us a clear price direction. So let us see how we can trade. But another major thing which we want to say is that today we have a lot of information in the market, because there are a lot of flash news in the market. Please follow the news carefully at the time of trading. In the majorly in the evening session, there can be some volatility around 6 p.m. and in UK market also we have a lot of news available. Go ahead and watch for the news, and that can provide some price volatility also. So thanks for watching our video. And the target zones, about the target zones, you can very well notice that we are much familiar with the target zones. Since you are continuously trading for this 2 weeks, you might be very familiar with the target zones. So today we are expecting some selling to continue in crude oil. Let us see what's going to happen during our trading session, and thanks for watching our video and take care. Bye.